This part of the second layer of the 3-ply fence. You can see the joints that I've created here. Again, they're a little overcut. You could elect to take the Sawzall out and cut them perfectly, but it's not that important. This has a 1.5 inch lap here just to hold this little part that hangs down. This will be glued and screwed. Here you can see the other joint, and then the mortise board in the back here. That one's also mortised in. So the top one, there will be a bolt at this point, at that point, and at this point down here. I put 3 bolts across the middle, which you'll see in the finished fence. 1 bolt at this joint, which is a little tight. You can see, again, there's the first ply below, and it's not, you can see the gap there because it's not square, it's just laying here on the ground. And then this board. So I'll cut 1 more board that goes from that point all the way over to this point, just as a filler, and another filler for the top. And I will put a small piece in there. And then the 3rd ply, I'll show you what that looks like from there. So here, cut this with a just regular Sawzall. Jigsaw will work better. And then I have a belt sander, so I just belt sanded it. And I overlap the angle piece from up here to over there so I can throw 1 bolt in it. Now I did cut it short. I should have ran that longer. But I don't want to cut the board over again, so when I make this filler piece on top, I'll fill it below and above. That little spot right there is just so that I can have a filler in there from this board, so you don't see down into it, and you don't see the cut. So I covered that up, and you'll see what that looks like when I cut the last 2 pieces. And then I have 1 more ply to make on the 3-ply fence, which is basically a mimic of the rear, of the front, which is facing down, which will be 3 boards, 1 on the left, 1 on the left, on the right, with 3 boards in the middle. And that completes the 3-ply. At that point, I'll disassemble it. I'll put glue on all the pieces that touch, set it back down on the glue, screw it through with 2.5 inch screws from the back side only, so I don't have any screws at the front. And I will use 1 3/4 screws on this ply to the first ply. And then when I put the 3rd ply on, 2.5 inch screws. Everything will be from the back side. And then I will drill my holes from the front, countersink bolts from the rear, the nuts from the rear. But the nut and washer will be countersunk because they're 3-inch bolts, and the fence will be 3 inches thick. And then I will bolt that all together and then add the hardware that you'll see on the finished gate. So this gate I did different than the first one. I extended these little pieces down 3 inches on each end. It was in my original plan, but I forgot to do it on the first fence, which is completed and hung up already. So I'm actually going to chisel out the middle ply from the other fence here, and I'll chisel out the middle ply from the other fence here, and I'll just glue that piece up in there, throw a couple of screws into it. It's not really structural, it's just for looks. And although the fence looks great, I still want to put it on there. It was in my original design, so I'm going to make this one right and correct the other one.